What's up, everybody? We're back, another episode. This is going to be an awesome one. It's going to be another musical-inspired podcast. I hope you all have been enjoying them. Today's podcast, again, is brought to you by our friends at Jack Daniel's, the one and only iconic Tennessee Sour Mash Whiskey. We're going to talk a little bit about a location today that we might have a whiskey. I don't know what your flavor is. Obviously, mine's Jack Daniel's. Some people like bourbon. Some people like Scott. What would you call it? My guest today is Rendy. What do you call Scottish whiskey, Mr. Rendy?
I call it Irish, Scottish whiskey. I call it Scotch. I call it good. I call it, let's drink it now.
Let's drink it now. You guys hear his voice. My man, Rendy Lovelady, is the founder of the Gulf Coast Jam that is held in Panama City Beach on a yearly basis. It was not in 2020 for reasons we all know about. Rendy, welcome to the show, my man.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Good to be here.
Are you excited? Are you talk to me a little bit about the change in the culture and what are you feeling right now? Is there a nervosa because of the pandemic per se and all of the events being canceled, and all of a sudden here we are in May, June of 2021, and you're pretty much going to have the first major event in the country?
Yep. I mean, I'm telling you, Chad, give it 2 months ago, I didn't know I was going to have an event. I mean, even as late as a month ago, it was still very unstable. We've gone from, okay, everybody in the park, 25,000 people are going to have to be tested to have a negative COVID test, to now where we've actually come down to where, I mean, I just need to say it, we have the best governor in the freaking world. But, I mean, he's opened us up where everybody's going to have to take a little survey that says, you know, I haven't been exposed, I don't have a fever. And they're in the park, man. No mask, no nothing. Just come on in. Let's just throw down. Let's throw down.
So when we start talking about the Gulf Coast Jam, you know, I want to make sure that we pay most attention to the positives of what this means about the culture and the fabric of America and our communities and what bringing these people together. There is a certain amount of people out there that look at an event like this where you're talking 20, 25, 30,000 people elbow to elbow watching some of their favorite country and rock and roll artists. What is the thing that we can say right now, Rendy, that puts people at ease that, hey, you know, this is what we've been waiting for. It's time. Or is there some people out there that deserve an answer? You think that, hey, we're safe. We've already had UFC fights in the state of Florida. There's other events that have taken place. What can we tell people right now, Rendy?
I mean, here's the deal. That's why we live in this greatest country in the world. We're free. Make your own choice. You scared to come? Don't come. I don't want your money. But the reality is, welcome back, America. It is time to reopen. It's time. It's time. I have, because we're the first event in the country, I have both extremes. I have the, whatever you call it, type of media that's saying, no, I can't believe you're doing this, to the other side of the media like yourself that's going, let's get this thing open. Let's get it going again. The reality is, I can't guarantee you can't come in my festival with 30,000 people and not get a stomach flu or a stomach virus or the flu. But I can guarantee you when you come through my gates, I'm going to do everything impossible that I can personally possible to make sure you have the safest, most pleasant experience you can. And you can come in here and hang with people and listen to great country music and have a blast and go home safe. And as far as the virus goes, I mean, we have all kinds of protocols we're doing, but the reality is, man, make your own decision. If you're scared, don't come. It's just not worth it. It's not. But I can tell you this, that you're safe from terrorists, you're safe from virus, and you're safe to be an American. So come on, let's have a good time.
And when you start talking about the area that this is in, tell our audience a little bit, Mr. Rendy, about what's going on in Florida right now. The governor has done what he's done. There's been UFC fights. There's been other concerts, Daytona. There's been a lot of stuff going on down in the state of Florida. Are the beaches full? Is the sun shining? Are people fired up? Are people, are they drinking margaritas and beers and Mai Tais on the beach again? And when it comes to the pandemic and the virus at this time in May, June of 2021, are cases down in Florida? And is there scientific proof that we are safe to go to Gulf Coast Jam?
I mean, the reality is this. When you come to Florida, everything's wide open. You have some national stores that are still locked into their corporate mindset, but the reality is you can go anywhere on this beach. You can go into a restaurant. You can go into anywhere you need to go. And by the way, Chad, we've been open pretty much the whole time, and our numbers are the lowest they've ever been since the beginning of the pandemic. We have lower numbers now than we actually first started dealing with COVID. So the reality is, it's definitely a different mindset. I mean, we get calls from people saying, "Are you sure you're going to have this event?" And I'm going, "Yeah, we're having this event." So there's still people that are very doubtful whether it's safe or not. But our scientific statistics are telling us your outdoor event, even the national media is starting to recognize if it's outdoors, it's virtually impossible to catch this thing. And this is outdoors, man. It's 100 degrees in Florida. The sun's out and it's beautiful. The wind's blowing. So, I mean, it's virtually impossible to catch it. But even in that protocol, we have a partnership that we've done with 3T America, which is it's a spray, basically, that has this formula that you can spray in all the toilets, all the touch points like bar tops, rails, wherever you go out to a park, where it kills anything that touches it virally, if that's the right word, to where if the virus touches it, if somebody has it and touches that rail or touches that porta potty or touches that bar top, it kills it instantly. And it's good for 3 weeks. And then we have hand sanitizer for spray that you spray your hands, and it's supposed to protect your touch for 9 hours. So the theory is the strongest way to catch it's through touch. That's the strongest way to catch it. Touching your mouth, touching your eyes, that's eliminated. So now it's like, then it comes down, do you wear a mask? Do you not wear a mask? I mean, scientifically, at 100 degrees temperature, I'm more worried about people falling out with heat stroke wearing a mask than I am people not wearing a mask. But if you want to wear a mask, you can wear a mask. It's America. It's free. That's what it's all about. But I mean, scientifically, we feel like the risk of catching COVID virus is virtually none. And that even Dr. Fauci would say an outdoor event, that's basically where it's at now.
What is your mindset like, Mr. Rendy, and your pride in this event with you loving this part of the American culture and live music events, festivals, concerts? What are you going to feel like when you see those people in there with the smiles on their faces and their red Solo cups in the air and that microphone turned on and that first strum of the guitar? And I don't care what artist it is. We're going to get into the artists that are on the bill, but what are you going to feel like personally with the pride and just the exuberation that's going to be in the area?
I'm not going to lie to you, Chad. I'm probably going to bawl because, I mean, it's been literally since September of 2019 since I've had an event. And I've actually had to move events, cancel events, restructure events for almost 2 years. And I was canceled by something that I'm not sure I even now still understand. And it's like, it's so emotional to me. The opening night, Chad, picture this. 30,000 people in the park. I'm going to walk out right before our headliner, Leonard Skynyrd, goes on stage. I'm going to bring out there a big old shot. I do Jim Beam. You can do Jack Daniels. I'll make sure you have a glass right next to me. I'm going to say, everybody, welcome back, America. And I'm going to it's just going to be emotional. I can sit here right now. I can sit here right now and get emotional because, man, when you've been shut down, everything you know to do to make a living for 2 years has been shut down. The thought of reopening and the thought, it's just emotional. So I'm so excited. I can't even stand it. I walk into restaurants now, Chad, and people literally start chanting, Gulf Coast Jam, Gulf Coast Jam. It's just everybody's just so jacked up to get back. I mean, our slogan is country on the coast. I mean, they're just jacked up. They come all day and they hang out on the beach. They go fishing. They play golf. They do whatever they want to. And at 2:00, they come over to the park and they have the best in country music. And it's just going to be a blast. It's going to be a big party, a big celebration. And we're going to be wide open.
Explain to the audience, Mr. Rendy, like, what is the atmosphere like? What does it look like? Paint me a picture of you keep saying the word park and then there's a beach. Can we see the music from the beach? Is the stage on the beach? Is it multiple stages? Is it one main stage? Do you have an act going on at 3:00, but there's a big main stage that has another act going on at 3:30? I've seen a bunch of festivals set up in a different way. Paint a picture for the audience of what we're going to see down there.
Absolutely. At 2:00, our main gates open up. We have a what we call our entrance stage, where people are coming in. We have smaller bands that are playing. We'll have about 3 acts a day of play. People will be gathering. They're starting to get happy as they're coming in the gate. And then they have about 150-yard walk to the main stage. And then about 3 o'clock, the main stage starts up and it goes until roughly midnight. And it's act after act after act. We have about 35, 36 acts that play over a 3-day period. And it's one big environment. I mean, Chad, we have people that have been coming to Gulf Coast Jam for 9 years, and they have the same area they set up in. They bring the chairs, they bring their blankets, and they sit up, and they have their own little like reunion where everybody comes together and actually has like a reunion. So it's going to be a place where I think, and especially this year, because everybody's been, so socially distanced and so afraid to even do anything, I think it's going to be a big explosion. I mean, even the last football game I went to in January, one of the bowl games, I mean, you were sitting apart from each other. You couldn't even come close to each other, and mask everywhere. I mean, it's going to be an exciting day. I mean, it's going to be constant music. It's going to be constant celebration. We have a DJ that's playing and his name's DJ Silver, and he'll be playing in between acts. So it's like it will never stop. The music will just go and go and go, and people just have a great time. It's fun. We've been doing it going on 9 years. Everybody has bad days, and you get some people that get in trouble, but for the most part, man, it's just everybody having a blast. It's mostly adults because it's Labor Day. It's supposed to be. It's a restructure from Labor Day, but it's that they don't bring a lot of kids just because it's kind of like mom and dad's getting together and getting away and doing their thing and having a good time. So it's just going to be fun in the sun. It's supposed to be beautiful weather. Of course, this far away, you never know. It's Florida, but the bottom line is there's no hurricanes coming this way, and there ain't no pandemic coming this way. So we're excited.
I'm picturing like a Florida-based band, probably one of the biggest songs in the history of the world was Sweet Home Alabama. I don't know if they have members from Alabama. I assume they might. But this is amazing that you're going to get to hear one of the songs that like has, built a lot of different, communities and parties and soundtracks of life is Sweet Home Alabama. Then you have Freebird. You got Gimme Back My Bullets. They're like Lynyrd Skynyrd is like the ultimate comeback band for a comeback event is what I mean. They don't need to have a comeback. The Van Zants are geniuses. But I want you to answer this question for me, Mr. Randy, is why live music? Why do we get so freaking jacked up to see Garth swing from the rafters? And now we're going to have Mr. Beach himself, Luke Bryan here. We have Brad Paisley who can rip a guitar and has got so many #1 hits. We got the Texas outlaw, Cody Jinks, that has developed a cult following by like not even really agreeing with the Nashville, per se laws and the regulations. He's doing it. Cole Swindell, which came out of the Luke Bryan camp. You got Brothers Osborne that are absolute musical geniuses that can rip a guitar and they write unbelievable songs. Joe Nichols, are you kidding me? Tequila makes her clothes come off. We're going to get to hear Billy Ray. We're going to get to hear Achy Breaky Heart. Achy Breaky Heart live on a beach in Florida and then you got Riley Green. You got you got the male model himself. There's going to be chicks going crazy all the way across the country. Like, why live music? Why does it jack us up to the point to where when those lights go down and whether it's Guns N' Roses or Lynyrd Skynyrd or George Strait,
it don't matter.
What does it do to us, bro?
Well, what it is, it goes back to the Bible days, man. Back in the Old Testament, when people got distressed and they got beat out of shape and they were depressed, it talks about bringing out the instruments to calm the soul. Well, the first thing live music is it calms your soul. You kind of come into it and you're relaxed. But the biggest thing I think live events does, it brings a synergy and a happiness when there's just such a depression around everywhere. It makes everybody get energized, man. You have that low sub kick in and you have the smoke start rising and you got that crowd roar that you hadn't heard for 2 years starting to build up. And the next thing you know, you got this band called Lynyrd Skynyrd walking on stage and just blowing Panama City Beach up, because not only is there pin-up demand, but it brings an energy to life itself to where you sit there and you feel it. It's not like you could turn it up in your car because you know what? I've seen some stereos in the car to blow you away. But I'm just saying the energy is so dramatic. And then you have people, their energies are playing off of each other. So you have the stage, you have the crowd, you have the music, and then you have the atmosphere of being underneath the sun or underneath the stars in the sea breeze. I mean, dude, it's dynamite. It just brings us just a hope in life. I mean, you got American flags flying everywhere in the park. It just brings us a sense of, man, this is what it's all about right here. And that for that 5-6 hours a day, you just throw all your cares away. You come and you let the music soothe your soul, man. It's just awesome.
What do you think is going to be the hit? If you had to guess, I just named off some incredible artists. And
man.
It's going to be hard to pick one.
Now.
It's hard to pick one, man. It's like, because here's the deal. You have the choice of which day to go to, right? Or you can buy.
That's right.
Talk to me a little bit about where tickets are available, what packages are available. Are there any VIPs left? Is there a VIP lounge area? Are there going to be, you mentioned bacteria-based ointments and sprays that are going to clean up the bar tops. Are there going to be open bars? Can we buy a cocktail here? Are you going to have enough ice to make sure this many people are kept happy throughout the day, my man? Talk to me a little bit about the bars and the cocktails and the atmosphere around there. We're going to be having an adult beverage, watching some of our favorite music. Give me a little bit of insight on what's going to happen there.
Okay, so first thing is all tickets are available. Yes, all the high dollar tickets, the skyboxes, the side stages, the VIPs are running thin because that's where you get the premium bathrooms and all that stuff. But here's the deal. It's a one-stop shop, GulfCoastJam.com. If you're looking for a place to stay, it'll give you places to recommend you, because honestly, the biggest problem we have in rescheduling this event, it's in June, which is one of the biggest times of the year for Panama City Beach as it is. So room's definitely an issue, but it's the same place you get your ticket. It's easy purchase. It's an easy one-stop shop and lock you in. That being said, I can tell you this, I've got over 7,000 cases of beer on ice, and I guarantee you there is no such thing as a hot beer at my party. No such thing. It does not exist. And if it does exist, they're out of the park. They're gone because somebody sold something bad. We have it on. Jim Beam's one of our big sponsors, and we're going to have all the kinds of things, all the liquors, and you can dream of, frozen daiquiris, frozen drinks. We're going to have the beers, the what do you call them? The salsa waters. Pepsi products. Everything's going to be out in the park, man. And I promise you, you will not go, can I have a cold beer? And have somebody say no, because it's going to be cold. Literally, we have semi trucks that have beer on the refrigeration system. And from that, they take them from that. We load them into refrigerated pods to where it's cold to cold. And then from the pods, it goes straight into big old tubs of ice. So there is no such thing as a hot beer at my party. It doesn't exist. No way.
I love it. Well, what if I get hungry during the day? Is there going to be some concessions where we can get some grub?
Dude, we're going to have all the carny food that you can ever stand. That's all going to be there. The hot dogs, the hamburgers, the peppers and onions and sausage. But then we're going to have food trucks there. You know what I mean? That people that like that higher end type food, we're going to have all the food, all the crafts, all the arts, everything going on. I hear rumor that there may even be an axe throwing pit. So, it's like we try to have a little bit for everything. We have a sports bar. We're going to have TVs all over the place where you could be watching baseball games or whatever you might want to be doing. I promise you this. To have the biggest, one of the top 5 events in the country events in the country. And we have a very high bar. And I think after this year's event, we're going to raise it even higher. It's just because, that's what our whole thing is. It's just a big party. And now that we're the first mega event to happen in the country, the expectation of a live event, it's going to be wide open.
Mr. Randy, I remember watching Garth Brooks on a special back before Garth Brooks took his little hiatus of 20 years to raise his family, which is awesome. But I remember him, and I also saw Kenny Chesney do it one time. He goes, I get here early before sound check, and I go up to the furthest seat away from where my microphone's going to be. And I want to make sure that man or woman or kid in that seat is enjoying it as much as the person in the pit, the mosh pit, the front row, the VIP, whatever. At an event like this, the energy is going to be unbelievable. How do we make sure that with that many people, how does an event organizer like yourself think about something like that, that the people that are back there have to be in it? Are there jumbotrons? Are they going to be able to see video? Are they going to be able to stay in the game is my question.
Yes, sir. I mean, let me tell you my history, Chad. I was tour manager for Van Halen, Motley Crue, and Bon Jovi in my early days. So I don't know how to do anything that's not loud. You know what I'm saying? Because part of my problem is I'm deaf. So if I can't hear it, they can't hear it. So the PA system is there to throw as far as you can throw. So the back of the park. And then I have these 30 by 40 screens on either side of the stage, which in the very back of the park, and again, hear me, multiple times in the day, I'm on my golf cart going to the back of the park because I want to hear and see what's going on back there. So there's nobody in the park that's not going to have a best seat. The bottom line is you're going to be able to see it, you're going to be able to feel it and hear it. Now, that being said, the person that's paying $1,000 ticket is going to see it and hear it and feel it a whole lot closer. But there's nobody in the park that's not going to feel the synergy of the massive crowd and the massive production. That's what it's all about. So trust me, yes. You have to say, you know what, Chad, you're a good interviewer, man. You got it down. So you feel it. I like your energy. You're great. You're great.
Well, I truly appreciate you saying that, because I got a lot of respect for guys like you that have taken the risk to do this, because myself, I love the idea of this, of what you've put together. And I think about the logistics and the parking and the regulations and the licensing and the city and the county and the fire chief and all of the things that go into the event when a person just has to click on a button to buy a ticket to have some of the greatest hours of their life. I want them to understand the amount of work and mindset and focus and insight and everything that goes in to putting on an event that brings Americans together like this. But when we go to a concert, it's easy for us to take it for granted. Like, shit, it's just loud music with a cold beer. But there's so much work and there's so much applause that goes to a man like you that has had the guts to keep this vision open when you could have easily said, you know what? I can't do it right now. I can't do it. But you're doing it. And that's where the respect comes in with the entrepreneurial spirit of America, bringing Americans together, probably some foreigners too, to raise their hands, raise their red Solo cups, toast America, and love each other through music. And it's because of guys like you and your crew that have been able to bring us all together for years. I've seen Tommy Lee upside down on a drum set on the Theater of Pain, on the Theater of Pain store, on the Theater of Pain tour. I've been all over rock concerts. I've seen Axl Rose rock stages, even though he didn't come out sometimes. I've seen him blow my mind several times. I've seen the best concerts in the world, and it's because of guys like you that put them on and promoters that bring it together, because it is a lot of freaking work. So congratulations, my man.
Thank you, man. I got to be honest. I have a partner. His name's Mark Sheldon. He is our operations. He's the CFO of our company. Everything they're already blocking off. When you have vendors, he has a map that you have 400 vendors or 400 different places, whether it's toilets or, a hamburger concession stand or the Cadillac dealership or whatever it might be, that's blocked off and mapped off and marked off in this park. And it's all taken care of. And then you have elements of security. Let's be honest. We're sitting here talking about, COVID, but let's be real. One of the greatest, is just the person's safety, from people walking into the park being crazy and nuts to, there's just all kinds of things. I can't get into all what we do, but we actually have a think tank of people. We call it risk management, that think about, ever since Vegas happened, what are the angles? Where are the people? We have snipers that you will never see that are surrounding the building, that come out during the day and they'll practice walking people in the park, and they have these little lights that go off. They don't know where the light's going to be, but that light goes off, and they practice target shooting to that light, because they say, we may not get that first shot, but we will get the second shot. And then you got people that are walking through the park with dogs, and you got people that are undercover that you don't even know are there. The safety of our consumer is critical to the life of this event. But, people talking about risk. People say they go and they play blackjack. I go play festivals. So it's a $9 million bet that you throw down there. You believe the weather's going to be good. You believe all the other environments are going to be good, and you throw a big party. And hopefully by the time it's all done, everybody was safe. Everybody had a great time, and you do it again.
And when it comes to me buying a ticket and wanting to see my favorite artist, will I be able to find some merch around this place? I want to be able to buy a Gulf Coast Jam shirt, and will I be able to buy specific merch from each of the bands? Is it going to be set up like a regular concert? Can I get in line and have that anticipation build up until I get up there and see that a t-shirt is $65, but I still pay it? Because it's what we call vintage. I got this shirt at the actual concert. I didn't buy it at Spencer's Gifts. I got this at the freaking concert. All right. So can I get me some vintage merch, Mr. Rendy?
Yes, sir. We have every kind of merch there is to be gotten. Everything there is that each individual artist is bringing their stuff. Each individual player is bringing their stuff. I mean, records, CDs, doesn't matter what you want. We're going to have it all there. Plus, we'll have our own merch there. I mean, it is a memorable moment, especially coming out of COVID. You know what I mean? It's like, it's what it's all about. It's what it's all about. So yeah, it's all part of the experience where you come in. We tell people time you walk into our park to the time you go home to your car, that's what Gulf Coast Jam is all about. So we try to work on the whole entire experience.
Well, let me tell you this, Mr. Rendy. I'm excited as heck. I'm coming from across the country because
I know you are, man.
I'm not going to miss. I'm not going to miss the first event of the year that has this kind of adrenaline rush for me, this kind of anticipation, this kind of energy. And again, it's a team effort. You and your team and your partner have done an amazing job to get this going. I put you on the pedestal with Dana White of not giving in and making sure that the entrepreneurial and free enterprise spirit of our country stays alive. And then you mix that with music. Holy shit, brother, there ain't a better recipe in the world. So I hope I catch a guitar pick. I hope I get hit in the head by a drumstick. I hope something happens to make me feel like I'm in a concert. I can't wait to be there. The sun's going to be hot. The stars are going to be out at night. The music's going to be loud. The beer's going to be cold. The hands are going to be in the air. It's going to be a roller coaster of emotions. And when Freebird comes on, I'm going to be crying. I'm going to be hugging you. I'm going to be hugging people. I can't wait, my man.
You're awesome, bro. I need to take you with me on the road, man. You're amazing.
Well, let's go.
Thanks.
Let's go. I'm in. I'm ready.
I just now noticed you got a Cody Jinks shirt on, man.
Look at that Whiskey Myers hat, dude. I'm vintage. I'm vintage.
You're vintage. You're wearing the colors, baby.
Hey,
I'm wearing the colors.
I am a good music fan. I like music, and I know that there's a lot of different musics out there to choose from. I love it all. I could even listen to a little Eminem and Dr. Dre on a given time, but I like talent, and I like genius, and I like dedication to the craft, and you got so many badass musicians coming here. I can't wait to hear it.
Thanks, man. We're excited about it, man. We really are. We're excited to have you as our guest. We're excited. Man, I'm just ready to do it again. I'm ready to do it again.
I bet you if I came into your house there or somewhere where you live, I bet you have an unbelievable music collection. Someday I'm going to sit down and have a beer with you and just talk about, is the movie Dirt really the real thing? Did that stuff really happen? Like I'm a huge documentary fan, and I got to pick your brain, man, because they got to write a book about what you've seen. I guarantee it. That is Mr. Rendy, the Gulf Coast Jam, Panama City Beach, Florida. June 5th and 6th, June 4th through the 6th, 4th, 5th, and 6th, 3 days of amazing music. Get your passes. Tell us one more time, Mr. Rendy, where to go, get our tickets, get our passes, see everybody in Panama City Beach.
One-stop shop, GulfCoastJam.com.
Get it now. Let's get down there and put our hands in the air. I mean, let's just all sing together. You know that part when the music drops and Garth lets you sing Shameless, or Garth lets you sing The River. You know, Luke Bryan's going to be do that. We're going to sing Freebird with the real Lynyrd Skynyrd. And then you got Cody Jinks. I mean, you got Brad Paisley. He sings the fishing song.
That's right.
I'm going to miss her. I can't wait, man. I'm going to be singing. And here's the deal. It's a great time to meet new people and open up new doors. So get the Gulf Coast Jam. This has been another episode of This Life Ain't For Everybody podcast. Can't wait to see y'all in Panama City Beach, Florida, June 4th through the 6th, 2021. Gulf Coast Jam. Get your tickets and passes right now. Love y'all. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Tom, Jake, hit that button. We're going to go out with a Cody Jinks song right now. This song right here is called Hippies and Cowboys. Thank you all for listening.
Raising hell with the hippies and the cowboys. They don't care about no trends. They don't care about songs that sell.